I'm with ChristieCraig, and she lives in Houston area, and she's adorable. You are.
Thank you.
So, what drew you to the romance genre to write?
I give my ex-husband the credit.
Your ex-husband?
Yes, he was so bad at romance that I had to fantasize. So that was my initial step into what it would feel like to have somebody love me like a hero.
You know, and of course it makes perfect sense.
Yes.
I always say that, women who write romance, you want to make those men suffer when you're mad. Well, that's a whole other story. But anyway, go ahead.
But I don't know. I think the romance is one of the most important things in life. It's not. People also a lot of times look down on romance, but I think romance is the most important thing in our lives. When we get to that point in our lives when we're really looking back, you're not going to be thinking about your work. You're not going to be thinking about. If you saw Italy, you're really probably going to be thinking about the people who loved you and you loved. And so I think love between a man and a woman, a man and a wife, or whoever, two men or two women, I don't care. It's just love. Love is what makes
that relationship.
Right.
That's what it is. When it gets down to the nitty-gritty.
And it makes us feel wonderful.
Right.
And that's why I think why my books have a lot of humor in it, because I think love should be fun. Love is fun.
And your books are fun because I read your books. So, of all your books, which one gives the truest insight to you as a person and who you are?
That's funny you ask, because I have one that's coming out in February of 2018. It's already up for pre-order. It's called This Heart of Mine. My husband went through a heart transplant. Not a heart transplant, a kidney transplant, but he was up for a heart and a kidney. And we had to go through all the classes and years. And before he got the kidney, we came so close to losing him. He lost like 40 pounds. He was, it was bad. And a donor donated their organs, and it gave him a second chance at life. And through that, it was several years later when an editor said, we wanted you to write something that is about a character facing a life trauma medical issue. And I wrote about a girl with a heart transplant, and her story, my pain, my husband's pain, his fear, my fear, that fear of losing someone that you love so much, it was in that book. And so I really know that when I wrote that book, it flowed with tears a lot, because there was a lot of times that pain that I was putting on the page was the pain I had lived through and what my husband had lived through. So, and yet there's still humor in it, believe it or not.
Did your husband help you read through it? And
he never reads it until the last pass, and so we have not gotten
so
there.
He hasn't read.
He will be reading it probably in the next week or so. So I'm kind of nervous, because I know I don't think he minds if I say he's a crier. So I know when he reads this book, he is going to cry as much when he reads it as I did when I wrote it. So it's a wonderful story. It's got a lot of heart. It's got a little bit of humor. It's got a lot of hope. It's about a girl who has accepted death because that looks like where she's going to go when she's 17, and said she gets a second chance at life, but has to accept having someone else's heart.
Oh, wow, yes.
And so it's how much, and she starts having dreams that she doesn't think come from her own life.
Oh, interesting.
So it's got that little bit of a mystical feel to it, and it's just it was one of those books that flowed with tears.
Yeah.
And I was back to pulling all-nighters again.
Oh, wow.
So going in 10:30 to check my email at night and realizing it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow.
So that was it really was a.
So normally I would say tell us about your latest release, but show us this card you have.
This is This Heart of Mine, and that's the book. It is a young adult, and probably about 65-70% of my audience are adults. So I always laughingly say, you want a woman to tell her your age, then write a young adult, because you'll get emails, I'm 48 years old, but I love your books. So,
Well, I'll have a pre-order link
yes.
at the bottom of this cast when it posts, and I'll keep you posted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christie.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Christie.